Today's topic is going to be long division of polynomials. And when we're learning something new, I always like to connect it to something I already know. So when we're talking about long division of polynomials, we can relate it to long division of whole numbers. So let's take a few minutes and let's review long division of real numbers, and then we'll be able to connect it to something new. So when we're using long division of real numbers, we start out by dividing this number, which is the divisor, into the first number here. So how many times does 3 fit into 5? Once. So our first step was actually divide. We then take that 1 and we multiply. 1 times 3 is 3. Okay, so our second step now is multiply. All right, so 3 fits into 5 once. 1 times 3 is 3. And at this point, we're going to subtract. 5 minus 3 is 2. So step 3 was subtract. All right, so what we're going to do now is we're going to start again, and we're going to say, oh, I'm sorry. We're going to bring the 1 down, and we're going to start again at the top. How many times does 3 fit into 21? 7 times. So you notice after we bring down the next digit, we're saying divide again. How many times does 3 go into 21? 7. At this point, we're going to multiply. Step number 2. 7 times 3 is 21. All right, so we're up to the subtraction point, right? And this is the point I really want to make here, is when we're subtracting numbers that have more than one number, we subtract both columns. We're going to subtract the 1s, we're going to subtract the tens column, but we only write the subtraction once, so we have to remember this, because when we move over to polynomials, it's not exactly the same. So when I subtract, I have 0. I'm going to bring down my 3. I'm up to step 1 again. So let's divide. How many times does 3 fit into 3? 1 time. Multiply. 1 times 3 is 3. Subtract. And we have a 0 remainder. So the quotient, the answer to this division problem, is 171. All right, so we have our 4 steps, something we already know how to do. So let's take these 4 steps, and let's use them over here in long division of polynomials. I'm actually going to stand here. All right, so it's the same 4 steps, but when we're dividing polynomials, there's really no digits. So I'm going to make a few modifications here. And when we're dividing the first terms only. So I'm going to make a little note here, and I'm going to say first term only. Okay? So my division looks like this. X squared divided by x. And the answer to that is x. Okay, so step 1 was divide, just like it was over there, long division of real numbers. Step 2 is multiply. And when we're multiplying, there's 2 terms over here, so we're going to multiply both of them. X times x is x squared. X times 4 is 4x. All right, so we're up to step 3, right? The subtraction. Remember when I said over here, when we're subtracting, we remember to subtract both columns. Over here, if I were just to write subtraction once, I may not remember to subtract both columns. So when I'm subtracting here, I make an important point to subtract both columns. So I'm subtracting the x terms and the x squared terms. All right. So 9x minus 4x gives me 5x. And x squared minus x squared is 0. So I'm not going to write it. Bring down. OK, so we're starting again from the top. Divide. And I'm dividing the first terms. So 5x divided by x. And I'm going to write it over here, because sometimes I can't do this in my head. 5x divided by x is 5. So I'm going to take that answer and put it up here. When you do the division and you end up with 5, that's a positive 5. So up here, I am going to put the plus 5 in there because I'm going to connect the 2 terms together with an addition sign. OK, so we did the division. We're going to take that 5 and we're going to multiply. 5 times x is 5x. 5 times 4 is 20. I'm up to subtraction. I'm going to remember to subtract both columns over here. 20 minus 20 is 0. 5x minus 5x is 0. So I have a 0 remainder, and the problem is done. When we're doing long division of polynomials, it's the same 4 steps as when we're using long division with real numbers. There are a couple of things that I have to remember, like I'm dividing the first terms only, I'm multiplying both of the terms in the divisor, and I'm subtracting both of these terms over here. So there are a couple of little things that I have to remember, a couple of new things, but ultimately, they're the same 4 steps in the problem. Here, x plus 5 is the answer to the division problem, and we call this the quotient. So x squared plus 9x plus 20 divided by x plus 5 gives us a quotient of x plus 5.